Hi. Oh, is it moving? Yeah. Hi. What if I do that? Okay. Hi. Don't mind the mess. Um, I just want to talk about whatever. I haven't even thought about a topic because I just want to talk. Sometimes I started posting videos because I think I mentioned in the first video I posted, I talk to myself a lot, like a lot, and sometimes I just start talking out loud, like really loud, and to alleviate that pressure of having to say things and not be like, not consider myself nuts. Is it sliding down? I can't, I don't think it's sliding down anymore. But anyways, I am a little nuts, I will admit to that, but I don't like feeling super nuts, you know? I think everybody, even the people who like are comfortable in their disorders, I guess I wouldn't say I'm comfortable in my disorder, or anyone is really, but even the people who are more accepting of themselves don't. Oh my god. I forgot this um nut milk in my room for a few days. Does nut milk rots like normal milk? Does it go bad like just like regular milk? I guess I'll find out. Is that mold? Well, it doesn't smell great, so I'll throw it out in a minute. I just want to talk sometimes, and I think it's really hard for me to talk. I wouldn't say I am antisocial or I'm introverted, maybe. I don't know, but because being introverted, shy, and antisocial are three different things, I guess. At least for me, I understand like being antisocial. Like you really, really don't like people at all. And being introverted is that you don't like most people, but you really enjoy spending time in more intimate and calm environments where you don't have to be loud or speak a lot. Sorry. And you know, you can't just be yourself with your few people, the few people that you like. And being shy is just like being shy. You you may or may not like to talk and like different people, you're just shy. I have been shy before. I actually had a very severe social anxiety and I couldn't get out of my house because I was so shy. But nowadays, I don't feel like I'm shy at all. Like, I feel like I'm very extroverted, but I'm not super social. You know, embarrassed of, I am not embarrassed of talking or being seen, you know, being viewed by other people, but I just think I don't have the right things to say still, you know. Um, I think I don't have like, I'm not confident in my knowledge and opinions and taste. You know, I'm not saying I have bad taste. I'm just saying that I think most people would not like what I like. That out of the internet, because I'm online a lot and I'm trying to lose that um habit. Don't mind the two phones. Okay, I'm not rich. I'm trying to lose the habit of being online so much. I uninstalled all I sorry. I uninstalled all short form video apps from my cell phone. This is an old cell phone that I got from my boyfriend, and it's kind of better than my phone, so I'm using that right now. Um, but anyways, I haven't downloaded any. Sorry, my hair is touching my nose and it's itchy. And I haven't installed any short form video app in this cell phone that is Miku themed right now. I loved it. It's a Poco X3 Pro. I think I will not show you my wallpaper because it's my boyfriend. But it's a, why did I show the screen anyways? It's a Xiaomi, I wish. It's a Infinix Hot 11S. Yeah. A huge ass name. Anyways, I'm trying to be offline more because I remember the times where I had a phone when I was a teenager, but I was definitely very chronically online, but it wasn't as bad as this, because TikTok wasn't this popular. I think oh my god, it was Vine at the moment. And Vine was not something as cringy as TikTok is considered right now, but it was definitely like half and half. It was not like super cringy to be a Viner or, to use Vine, but it wasn't something cool either. It was not like everyone wanted to make Vines and be like Lily Pons. So it was not something like wow and time consuming and attention catching like TikTok is. But because it was mainly like just very short videos, and the popular people just made jokes or music content, so it was not as popular. It was not like an influencing platform like TikTok is, where you can sell stuff, you can sell an image, a body image, you can sell body modifications, like you can convince people to get procedures. Anyways, I'm not gonna talk about that, but I'm trying to get offline, and it's not like I'm trying to get offline in the sense of, oh my god, it's so hard to get off my damn phone, because I don't mind being on my phone. I have always been super online, and it never oh my god, I'm creating words right now. It never prevented me from having hobbies before. Like, I was super online from the moment I got a phone that could have internet. I got super online, and I never got offline before. And we had a computer, a home computer, and I used that all the time I could because it was a home computer. Everyone used it, so I had to wait for my time, my chance. But whenever I could, I was online, and it never prevented me from having hobbies. But the way the internet is right now is completely profit driven, and it kills your hobbies. It definitely kills your hobbies unless you are actively putting effort every single day into distancing yourself from the grip of the capitalistic internet. You will probably fall into that trap, as I have fallen into. You can see my hobbies are right here. My yarns. There's a bunch of yarn right here, and there's more kept down here. There's my sewing supplies. There's a bunch of tools right there because I use it. And don't mind this mess. It's a shelf, okay? It's not a one purpose shelf. Okay, so an all purpose shelf is where I keep my shoes, my stuff, my sewing supplies, and some other stuff. And behind me, we have my machines, plural, there's the other one, and a project I'm working on for a friend. I have some hobbies. I used to be way more active on these hobbies. I used to read a lot when I was a child, but that has been long ago. I will not say that the modern internet, the contemporary internet, has killed my reading hobby. I think I was never into like that much into reading, and that is really embarrassing for me, because reading for me is like a basic thing that every functional human being should do at least once in a semester. But here I am. I have read Dracula, I think it was last year. And I started reading Frankenstein this year, but I have not progressed a lot. And it's not because I don't like reading. When I start reading, I want to read all day, but the thing about reading is that I don't want to bring my books everywhere because I want to keep them pristine. And especially Frankenstein, because it's my boyfriend's book. He made it, he wrote it. And he borrowed me the book, so I'm reading it right now, and I don't want to get it dirty or damaged, of course, because it's a hardback and it's from a seller. Oh, okay. That makes really good and beautiful covers. So we love them, and in fact, my Dracula edition is also from that seller, and it's gold foiled in the pages. It's beautiful. I love it. There's illustrations throughout the book. I love it. It's a very good seller. And it's very affordable. Their books are kind of affordable. Because we went to check, there was a huge ass collection. I don't remember what it was, but their book collections, like 3 huge books, were like 300 reais, which would be like, the dollar is lower right now, so it would be like 3 times 5. I can't do math, okay? I'm trying. Like 150, I think less. I think less than that. But anyways. Yeah. I think less than that. So, no. Yeah. Okay, math is really hard, but anyways. I don't want to bring it everywhere, so I can only read it if I'm sitting in a very calm place that will not have any accidents happening, like my bed or a table or anything like that. But when I start reading a book, I feel like I'm not being efficient, and I feel like I'm just procrastinating and doing nothing, and that I should get up and do something, because I'm actively just standing still looking at words, which is a very stupid way to describe reading, but I just want to feel good about reading. I want to feel good that I feel good when I read. But anyways, try to fix that by going out to read, but then I went to a city. It's not a park. How do you call it? It's not a park. It's a place with benches, but it's not a park because there's not a lot of green and trees. But anyways, I went out to sit somewhere around the city, the town, and read the book. But then a guy came and started asking about my feet. So I went home and I haven't read the book anymore because that ruined my day. But anyways, I remember when I was younger, I opened up the computer or my cell phone that was really, obsolete even at the time, and I didn't have anything jumping at my face, I didn't have anything attacking me with bunch of notifications or news or eye-catching stuff. If I wanted to do anything on the internet, I would have to open up my cell phone or my computer with a plan in mind. I would have to talk to someone and find out about a new video or a new anime that I could watch on my computer. I would have to socialize to learn stuff about the internet. I obviously didn't have to socialize for everything. I was very curious, so I fucked around and found out very awful things. But most of the times when I watched anime or I played a game, I didn't have a good computer, so I played mostly Flash games. But anyways, that was cool at the time. I'm sorry, I know I'm young. I'm only 23 and I sound like I'm super old, but when you think about the 2000s, I was born in the 2000s and I have a good memory and I was very curious. So even as a very small child, I did explore the internet, which is not fun and cool at all. It's a bad thing that it happened, but I traversed through the internet as a very young child and I learned a bunch of stuff and I seen a bunch of stuff. And I remember things that were super cool. I learned about Slender Man from my brother. He is way older than me, and he learned about it from his friends and videos online. And that's how you learned about things, in that era. And of course, there were tutorials online and stuff like that. It was not like in the 90s where you really have to find out every Easter egg or secrets about every game. No, there was information online. There were walkthroughs and Easter eggs, tutorials and stuff like that. But if you wanted to learn about games and stuff like that, you really had to talk to people, or at least you had to learn about it from YouTube. But YouTubers also were not thrown in your face. You would have to find them also. So the algorithm was not like handing everything to you. It was very like, when I was born, it was not so long ago. So when I was in the internet, sometimes something could be given to you, but it was not like today where things are not just shown or offered, they are thrown at you. They are like rubbed into your face. Because if you don't want to watch something, unless you actively go and ask YouTube to not recommend that and say you don't want to watch it, you cannot just simply go find something else. You cannot, you can go find something else, but you cannot just um refresh the page and see something new. If you refresh the page, the same videos will be there, just scrambled into different positions. And I don't know if they think you don't realize it, but I'm pretty sure everyone realizes that it's the same videos. It's the same fucking videos, and you're not getting anything new, you know? Um, but also, finding new YouTubers used to be so much easier and cool than it is right now because, of course, the internet was quite new and YouTube was quite new, and people didn't have such a big career and like it is today, you know. It was very much harder to monetize and live off of YouTube, but nowadays it seems like you only get a chance of becoming known if you rely on collabs or controversy or something to do with bigger YouTubers, you know. And videos like these, just random people talking and, you know, getting their thoughts thrown at the internet were more common, and they got some like 5 views. They didn't go viral. They would go viral when something bad happened, like we've seen before. I'm not gonna talk about that, but the internet right now seems very predatory, you know? It's almost like everything is said and done, and they're just finding a way to ease it into you, you know? They already know what you should see and you should do and you should buy, and they're just making it easy for you to think it was your decision. So I'm trying to get off the internet and not be on there so much. And of course, I know there are websites and apps where they kind of replicate these old internet feel, that you have to seek stuff and you have to actually think about what you want to see and what you want to search. But of course, my brain has been already damaged by the new internet, so I find it kind of hard to think about what I really want from the internet, because when I think about what do I really want to see, I don't want to see anything, you know. I want to see stuff like I saw before. Like, I really like Vocaloid, and when I was a teenager, there were awesome Vocaloid producers, and a good chunk of them died, which is extremely, I don't know how to put it into words, but it's like not just a loss of someone that made music that I like, but those artists were awesome. Like, were so innovative, and their art actually impacted me so much and impacted other people. And I can see they impacted even other producers because I can see their influence in their art too. So that actually makes me really sad that I will never get new stuff from them. You know, I never get a chance to see them perform live, maybe like Yowaka, um, like Kikuo, or anyways. But I I want to find new Vocaloid songs, but English is not my first language, and I don't know a single bit of Japanese. So for me, that's quite hard. I know a lot of English, but what will I search? You know, new Vocaloid songs. The even if you search for something, the algorithm also controls that and gives you popular stuff or stuff that he thinks you like it. You're not just gives if you search new vocalized songs, it will not give you the raw data, all of the new vocalized songs. It will give you a curated list. And I don't want that. So, and then also I've always been a person of very lone hobbies. And I mean lone hobbies, by lone hobbies I mean crochet or knitting or sewing or drawing or cooking. Cooking is not so much of a lone hobby, but stuff that you kind of have to be alone or not interact as much to do. I cannot talk while I'm doing that stuff. I don't have a multi-processor brain. So it's not like I'm socializing a lot anyways, but I really wanted to be more social because I talk a lot. And I really want to talk a lot, but whenever I'm close to people or I'm talking to people, I feel so uncomfortable, like something is wrong and I shouldn't be there. I want to be alone and I want to be far away from them, and I feel like being in close proximity to people is like an invasion of my privacy. I feel like I'm being, it's having people like less than 1 meter away from me. It's like so uncomfortable, and I have never liked sitting side by side with people and having their legs touch my legs, even by a little bit. It felt so invasive, or when people touch my shoulders when they're laughing, they go haha, blah, and I can't stand that, or holding hands, or even being close. um I I feel bad about that because sometimes I have a friend and they're feeling bad and they want to cry and they want a hug, and I have to force myself to give a hug, but then I feel their warm breath on me, and maybe a tear falls on my shoulder, and of course I will not react to that, but that feels like torture. That feels extremely invasive, and I feel extremely uncomfortable. But I want social interactions. I want to talk and I want to listen and I want to discuss topics and all that, and I want to have a community, but I can't stand people and I don't understand why. I've always used to have only one friend. Every place I went since kindergarten, I only had one friend and I couldn't have more than that. One time I had two, but the trio constantly fought, and only in high school I have more than one friend, but it was because all of them kept a balance. All of them talked to me and talked to each other. Sometimes I would be quiet on my own and they came to talk to me and never left me alone, so in a good way, okay? So there was that, but I've always had one friend, one best friend that I considered, you know, a big friend. And I quite realized that whenever I was single, I would have a best friend, and whenever I was dating, I would have like more than one friend. But the person I was dating would be the only one I felt comfortable with. So it feels like I have only one place for something, for someone special that I feel comfortable with in my heart. And whenever that place is filled with one person, the other ones always get left out. And I don't know how to correct this. I really wanted to feel comfortable with all of my friends, just, imagine going to the beach and, you're just with your friends at the beach and you're having fun, you're playing volleyball. That feels, just imagining that feels icky to me, like feels uncomfortable as fuck because I don't want to be close to people. But if I was single, I think having a friend and going with her to the beach wouldn't be so bad, but when it's more than one people, I feel bad. I went to the beach before with I went to the beach 3 times and all of them were uncomfortable to me, not because I don't mind people in underwear, but it's just like a public place, you know. And I don't know, when people have less clothes on them, the distance I can feel comfortable with people grows. So if you are in a bikini, I would not feel comfortable when you're like 1 meter away from me. I think I need like a 3 meter distance because I don't know, it feels uncomfortable as fuck. Not because you're naked, but because I don't know, it feels too invasive. But even when people are clothed on, I don't want to be near them that much. But it was always like this. I had one best friend, and I would always be close to her. I would hug her. But nowadays, it feels so hard to do that. And even my boyfriend, sometimes I just want a space. I just want to not be touching. Even hands or legs, feet, I don't want to be touching. And I don't want to be touching anything. Sometimes I feel like with my pets too, I don't want to be touching. I don't want any more cuddles. I don't want, you know, um, and sometimes I feel that about my clothes. Like, I don't want to be in these clothes. I want to take a shower. I don't know. I don't understand. I just hate physical touch in a molecular level, maybe. I don't know, but I don't feel like I'm antisocial or introverted, but I'm not shy either, but I'm a fourth weird option where I like people and I'm not shy and I'm not insecure. I like talking and I like being public. I like receiving attention. I like dressing up and I don't mind people looking at me, but I don't feel uncomfortable. I don't feel comfortable either. I don't understand that. But, anyways, that's it. I talked a lot. If you want to talk, I would love to read it. But of course, I don't think anyone will see this video. Mind you, if you see this, did you go this far? A 30-minute long video because I talk a lot? I doubt it. So yeah. Bye.